Hi, and welcome to this edition of North Penn Sports. I'm Mithil Ajmera, and joining me today is Jesse Alexander at North Penn High School Natatorium for a swim meet between the Owls from Bensalem and the Knights from North Penn. The Bensalem Owls are coached by Mr. Pat Russell. North Penn Knights are coached by Mr. Bill Bartle, and the assistant coach is Mr. Brian Bakish, and the diving coach is Sue McDonald. The officials for today's meet are Mr. Peter Bunting, Wayne Hellman, and Mr. Matt Flack. Bensalem will be swimming in lanes 1, 3, and 5, and North Penn will be swimming in lanes 4, 2, and 6. Here's Jesse with the lineups for 200-meter relay today.
Thank you very much, Matul. For the Bensalem Owls, nobody will be racing in lane 2. In lane 1 for the 200 relay. In lane 3, there's DJ Magard, George Johnson, Stephen Blank, Mike Gerberth, And in lane 5, there's Kevin Smith, Brian Euglos, Kevin Killian, and Jim Farrell. For North Penn, in lane 2, we have Pat Thompson, John Gallagher, Eric Bakash, Chris Hutchins, and Chris Hutchinson. In lane 4, we have Jeremy Burgum, Steve Philibom, Tim Cronston, and Chris Craig. And moving over into lane 6, we have Andy Gabaselis, Justin Kratz, Bob Welsh, and Chuck McGee.
As you know, the 200-meter relay has 4 swimmers. Each swimmer has to swim 1 stroke. The strokes are backstroke, breaststroke, fly stroke, and free strokes. And the keys for this mare relay is to have a good start off the block.
I would have to agree with you. Good start off the block would indicate a lead, an early lead. And
you're right, Jesse.
A team could always use that.
Right. And in lane 4, in number place second is we have a score of time of 1 minute 51 seconds and .01. In lane 2, we have a place of number 1 of 1 minute 50 seconds and 67 milliseconds.
Lane 3 placed third with 2 minutes. Lane 6 placed 4th with 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And lane 5 placed 5th with 2:17. Winner of this race was undoubtedly North Penn with a time of 1 minute and 50 seconds.
And the next meet is the 200 freestyle. And here's Jesse with the lineups for the 200 freestyles.
For Bensalem, we have DJ Magard, Kevin Euglos, and that's it. For North Penn, we have Dominic Zabo, Justin Vanslow, and Devin Philibom.
And in this 200 freestyle, there are 8 laps by 1 swimmer, and the key is good start and pacing.
Yeah, without the pacing, fatigue sets in and slows you down.
You're right, Jesse. And in high school, this is considered a distant event, but in college, it's only a sprint event.
I did not know that. Lane 4 seems to be taking the lead.
And lane 2 is right behind lane 4.
They're off by 0.5 seconds.
And still lane 4 still has the lead here. And lane 4 has a time of 53 seconds. And lane 2 is behind lane 4, which is behind by 2 seconds right now.
I don't know if you can see it, but it appears that the swimmers are slowing down a bit. It seems that they're getting a little tired of the repetitive motion.
You're right, Jesse. 8 laps is long. I mean, lane 4 has the lead right now and is just keeping a lead right now with behind lane 2, who's second. And lane 4 has placed first with a time of 1 minute and 49 seconds. Lane 2 is second with a time of 1 minute and 54 seconds. Lane 6 is placed third with a time of 1 minute and 57 seconds. Lane 3 has placed fourth with a time of 1 minute and 59 seconds. And lane 5 has placed fifth with a time of 2 minutes and 9 seconds. I mean, there was a really close match there. The meet was really close between the lane 4 and lane 2.
It did, but I guess it really wouldn't have mattered which one got there first, considering that they were both North Penn.
That's true. The next meet is the 200 yards individual med relay. And here's Jesse with the lineups for the 200 individual med relay.
Well, I'll agree with you, except it's not a relay.
Oh, that's my fault. Sorry.
In lane 1, we have Steve Miller from North Penn. Lane 5, John Fakish. And lane 3, Chris Hutchins. Moving on down to the Bensalem Owls. In lane 2, we have Mike Little. In lane 4, we have Steve Ciotti, and there's no swimmer in the other lane. It is the 200 individual medley. For those of you who are wondering what meet this was.
And this is 8 laps, and one swimmer has to swim 4 different strokes in this order: butterfly stroke, backstroke, breaststroke, and the free stroke. And the keys for this meet are starts, turns are the very much big thing. And breaststroke can be a break for them.
I'd like to apologize. I made a mistake. Bensalem Owls are racing in the odd number lanes, and the Knights are racing in the even number lanes.
And it looks like right now lane 2 has the lead right now. And right behind lane 2 is lane 4. And lane 2 has a time of 1 minute and 2 seconds. Lane 4 has a time of 1 minute and 4 seconds. Lane 6 has a time of 1 minute and 7 seconds. Lane 3, which is placed 4th, has a time of 1 minute and 13 seconds. And lane 5, which is placed 5th, has a time of 1 minute and 20 seconds. Lane 4 just grabbed the lead, and it's in first place with the time of 1 minute and 41 seconds. In lane 2 has placed second with a time of 1 minute and 42 seconds. They're off by 1 second right now, Jesse.
It looks like lane 2 and 4 will be lapping lanes 3 and 5.
I agree with you, Jesse. And lane 4 has placed first again with a time of 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And lane 2 has placed second with a time of 2 minutes and 11 seconds and 17 milliseconds. Lane 4 has just beaten lane 2 by 0.3 milliseconds there.
That's an amazing feat. Lane 6 placing third with 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And we're still waiting on lanes 3 and 5. Coming up first will be lane 3.
which is placed fourth at a time of 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And lane 5, which will be placing fifth, will have a time of 2 minutes and 54 seconds. The next event is the 50-yard freestyle, and here's Jesse with the lineups.
Okay, in for North Penn will be Matt Gibson and Joel Reiner and Ian Detweiler. For the Bensalem Owls is Brian Ugloss, Mike Gaberth, and Kevin Smith.
And the keys for this 50-yard freestyle is to have it's a short sprint race, and you need to have a little pace in here.
Players step up to the blocks.
And this 50-yard freestyle is one swimmer has to swim 2 laps.
Coming off with an early lead is lane 4. That is Matt Gibson, lane 4. Following up behind him in lane 3 is Brian Ugloss.
And following behind that is in lane 5, which is Mike Gerbert. Lane 4 has placed number 1, which has a time of 23 seconds. Lane 3 has placed second, which has a time of 25 seconds. Lane 5 has placed third with a time of 25 seconds and 64 milliseconds. Lane 2 has placed fourth with a time of 27 seconds. Lane 6 has placed fifth with a time of 30 seconds. And Lane 1 has placed sixth with a time of 31 seconds.
And that'll bring us over to our next event of diving.
Stay tuned to North Penn Sports, and we'll be back with the diving portion of today's meet.
It's my birthday. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I told you, don't be bringing that weak stuff in here. Yeah. Who's the man? Who's the man?
Exercised lately?
Welcome back to North Penn High School Natatorium, and the diving portion of today's meet is almost on its way. And there are 6 dives that are done by each diver. There's 1 required, and the other 5 dives are picked by the diver. And one key is that you don't want to splash the water when you go in.
Definite no-no.
And here's Jesse with the lineups for today's diving meet.
For Bensalem Owls, we have Mike Little and Chris Newell. For North Penn, we have Ryan Hollenbach, Greg Detweiler, and Michael Hendricks.
And we have Ryan Hollaback going up for the dive first. And the score for Ryan Hollaback were 5 1/2, 6 1/2, and 7.
Pretty good dive, I would have to say.
You're right, Jesse here.
Chris Newell, dive number 101, forward dive, height position.
And here's Chris Newell for his dive. He has a score of 5, 5, and 5. 3 5s.
Ryan Hollenbach, dive number 103, forward dive, 1 1/2 somersaults, tuck position, 1.6.
And I guess it's Ryan Hollaback going up again, and he's going to be doing a somersault.
Very good. You got an applause out of that one.
You're right, Jesse.
6 1/2, 6, and 5 1/2. Mike Little diving for Bensalem Owls. See how he does. Gets up onto the board, and off he goes. Scores are 3 1/2, 4, and 4 1/2.
Second round of diving. Michael Hendricks, dive number 4.
Michael Hendricks is diving for North Penn.
Somersaults, tuck position, 2.2.
We have seen pretty good dives right now, Jesse.
Yeah, we have, except for the last one. Not much you can do once you get off that board, except hope that you don't get a bad splash.
We have 3 1/2, 4, and 4. We have Greg Detweiler from North Penn going up for the next dive.
He's up. He's in.
5 1/2, 4 1/2, and 5 1/2.
Chris Knoll, dive number 201, back dive, layout position.
Chris Newell diving for the Bensalem Owls. And he's up, and he's in.
He's 2 1/2, 3, and 3.
Not one of the better scores that you've seen today, but he made an attempt. Give him credit for that.
As you said, Jesse, after you go up, you can't control yourself when you go in the water, and it's really hard not to make a splash.
It takes a great deal of skill to manipulate your body into a way that you won't make a big splash. Ryan Hollenbach.
You have a score of 6, 5, and 5.
And here's Mike Little
For Bensalem Owls. He's up, and he's in. 5 1/2, 5, and 5 1/2.
Here's Mike Hendricks diving for the North Penn Knights.
2.5. 3. 2.5.
And Salem's not having a pretty good time over here in the diving well.
I would give him credit for even diving that. I mean, that's not a bad score.
He's getting ready for his dive. Nice little bobbing motion he has there. Up and in.
Score of 5.5, 5.5, and 4.5.
Chris Newell for the Owls.
Scores
3.5, 3.5, and 3. They were the scores for Mike Newell. I'm sorry, Chris Newell.
Next we have Ryan Hallback from North Bend. He's ready.
He's up. There he goes.
6.5, 6.5, and 5.
Scores from Ryan Hollenbach. Here's Mike Little.
5, 4.5, and 4. We have Michael Hendricks for North Bend diving now. He's up and he's in. He's a score of 5.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Next we have is Greg Detweiler for North Bend. He's ready for his dive. He's up and he's in. We have a score of 2, 2, 2.
Chris Knoll, dive number 401, inward dive, tuck position 1.4.
Chris Newell from the Owls.
Five, 5 and 1/2, and 4 and 1/2.
Not bad.
Next we have Ryan Hallback for North Penn.
One twist, free position 2.2.
And Ryan Hollenbach steps up. Off the board. He's in. Score of 6, 5 and 1/2,
6 and 1/2.
and 6 and 1/2.
6. Mike Little, dive number 401.
Mike Little
Dive, tuck position 1.4.
for the Owls will be diving.
Scores. Fifth round diving. Michael Hendricks, dive number 5111, forward dive, 1/2 twist, straight position, 1.8.
Now we have Michael Hendricks going up for his dive. He's up and he's in. You have a score of 5 and 1/2, 6, and 6 and 1/2.
5 1/2.
As you can see, we have had pretty good dives today.
Yes, both teams are they're faring pretty well.
And now we have Greg Detweiler coming up for his dive.
He's up in there.
He's in.
Nice dive by Greg.
A score of 5 and 1/2, 6, and 6 and 1/2. We'll be back to diving. We'll be back to diving after this break.
Go for a mouthful, go for the fun.
Oh, go for cake!
Cakes are for everyone. Just one stack is what it takes. And it's gopher cakes. Open wide, stuff your face. There's always room for more gopher cakes. Empty the box, then reload. Eat those gopher cakes till you explode.
Exercised lately?
Till you explode.
And welcome back to North Penn High School Natatorium. And there was blood on the board, and that's why the officials had to clean it up, and that's why it took a little long. And we have a score of 4.5, 4.5, and a 5 for Greg Detweiler. We have Ryan Hallback for North Bend going up next for his dive.
The diver that had the unfortunate incident was Chris Newell for the Bensalem Elves. He apparently cut his knee. He cut his leg just below his knee, right on the board, and that caused the delay. So.
Ryan Hallback, dive number 303, reverse dive, 1.5 somersaults, start position.
All I can say is, sorry, Chris. Stuff like this happens, but at least he survived.
And here's Ryan Hallback ready for his dive. He's up and he's in. He has a score of 6.5, 6.5, and 5.5. We have Michael Hendricks for North Penn going up next. Michael Hendricks had the score of 4.5, 3.5, and 2.5. Next up is Greg Detweiler for North Penn. He's up and he's in. Greg Detweiler had a score of 6.5, 7, and 6.5. Chris Newell is back and he will be diving next. Chris Newell got a score of 5.5, 3.5, and 4.
Ryan Hallback, dive number 104, forward dive, double somersault, tight position.
Ryan Hallback's turn. Steps up on the board. Up and down. Ryan climbs out. He has the scores of 6, 4.5, and 5.5.
Blue States dive competition. Swimmers, you have 10 minutes for warm-up.
And that is it for the diving portion of today's meet.
Do you have any thoughts on the diving portion?
Bensalem and North Penn, they both came out really good. And we're just sorry about Chris Newell, who just got a cut. And that's it for the diving portion. And stay tuned for North Penn Sports. We'll be coming back up with He'll be coming back up with the 100 yards butterfly.
Introducing new frequent phone hours.
Use the phone just 8 hours a week and get this free phone cradle. Use it 12 hours and get a speakerphone.
Use it 15 hours and get this cool headset.
Or stay on the phone 20 hours a week
And get a pasty complexion.
flabby body, and a great new nickname at school.
Exercised lately?
Welcome back to North Penn High School Natatorium, and we're about to start the 100-yard butterfly. In this race, there are 4 laps by 1 swimmer, and the keys are to make sure they control the kick. And they're about to go, and they have started. And it looks like lane 4 is in the lead right now.
North Penn taking an early lead into the race, followed by another North Penn player in lane 2, and the Bensalem Owls in lane 3.
And in lane 4, who has placed number 1 right now, has 26 seconds.
And the closest Bensalem is in 4th place in lane 3 with 32 seconds.
And North Penn is just increasing their lead right now.
I don't know about you, but I can surely hear some mega support from the North Penn side.
And in lane 4, which is placed first, has a time of 56 seconds. In lane 2, which is placed second, has a time of 59 seconds. In lane 6, which is placed third, has a time of 1 minute and 1 second. In lane 3, which is placed fifth, has a time of 1 minute and 15 seconds. And in lane 5, which is placed fourth, has a time of 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Results of the 100-yard butterfly. 5th place, George Johnson, Bensalem. 4th place, Steve Blank, Bensalem. 3rd place, Tim Costin, North Penn. 2nd place, Derek Kochi, North Penn. And 1st place,
And next up is the 100-yard freestyle. And Jesse, why don't you tell us the keys for this 100-yard freestyle here?
Well, this is a sprint event, 4 laps. The keys for this are start and turns. Make or break the 100 freestyle. So that means get a good start, make sure your turns are great, and you're gonna have a good race.
lane 2, Bob Welsh. Lane 4, Jeremy Bergman. And lane 6, Mike Farrell.
And we have the diving results. And North Penn has placed first, who was Ryan Hollenbach. North Penn has placed second also, who was Craig Detweiler. And North Penn also has placed third, who was Michael Hendricks. Bensalem placed fourth, which was Chris Newell. And Mike Little was disqualified from the diving portion was because he was injured.
In lane 1 for Bensalem, we have Kevin Newgloss. In lane 3 for Bensalem, we have Vince Zarco. And in lane 5 is Mike Gerberth. In lane 2, we have Mike Farrell for North Penn. Also for North Penn in lane 4, we have Jeremy Bergam. And in lane 6, we have Bob Welsh.
And lane 4 has placed first again with the time of 48 seconds. Lane 2 has placed second with a time of 57 seconds. Lane 5 has placed 3 with a time of 57 seconds. Lane 3 has placed fourth with a time of 59 seconds. Lane 6 has placed 5 with a time of 59 seconds. And that lane 1 has placed sixth with a time of 1 minute and 23 seconds. As you can see, Jesse, North Bend is taking the early lead at the start of the meet. Next up is the 500-yard freestyle, and it's a 20-lap event. And here's Jesse with the lineups for the 500-yard freestyle.
Well, the one and only swimmer for Bensalem is DJ Megard. He will be in lane 3. In lane 2, we have Pat Thompson for North Penn. In lane 4 for North Penn is Steve Flemings. In lane 6 is Steve Pasquale. You know, the 500 relay is considered a distance event. Maybe you'd like to go over the keys.
Well, the key would be to just don't get tired during the meet, and you want to have some energy left so you can at least have the lead at the end.
You ready? And there they go. Getting off to an early lead is lane 4. That is Steve Flemings. Coming up right behind Steve is lane 2, which is Pat Thompson. And in lane 3, which is DJ Megard. Coming up in 4th is Steve Pasquale.
And as you can see, Jesse, there are swimmers who are sitting outside and they're having boards on their hands, which indicates that how many laps they have done right now.
That is good.
I mean, it makes sure the swimmer makes sure that he doesn't get confused and knows how long he has to go.
Right. Shows a pacing event. It shows how long they have to pace or how much pacing they have to do.
For the first lap, we have lane 4 and number placed first. Lane 2 has placed second. Lane 3 has placed third. Lane 6 has placed fourth. And lane 4 is taking the early lead again.
Once again, all the swimmers, like in a few of the distance races that we've seen at the high school level, are slowing down as we get towards the midpoint of this race.
You're right, Jesse. I mean, it's a long race, and it takes a lot of energy and strength to do it. Lane 4 has taken the early lead and has placed first again with a time of 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Right behind lane 4 is lane 2, which is placed second with a time of 2 minutes and 28 seconds. And right behind there, that's lane 3, which is placed 2 minutes and 35 seconds. It looks like lane 4, Steve Flemings, has taken a really big lead. And the next person behind him is Pat Thompson from North Bend.
Steve Fleming Clocks in at 3:23. It's 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Coming up right behind him is Pat Thompson, clocking in at 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And then we have DJ Maynard, clocking in at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And we have Steve Pasquale, clocking in at 3 minutes and 41 seconds. North Penn is making killer time in this event. Lane 1. I'm sorry, not lane 1. Lane 4. Still in first. Steve Flemings with 4 minutes 25 seconds. Pat Thompson still in second in lane 2. Time of 4:38.
And as you heard that gun sound, that reminds the swimmer that there are 2 laps left, and they're not far away.
And lane 6 has picked up some pace, moving into third. Pushing lane 3, that would be DJ Maynard for Bensalem, down to the 4th position.
And as you have it, Steve Flemings has placed first with a time of 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Pat Thompson has placed second with a time of 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Steve Pasquale has placed third with a time of 5 minutes and 11 seconds and 28 milliseconds. And DJ Merlin for Bensalem has placed fourth with 5 minutes and 17 seconds. As you can see, Steve Pasquale picked up the pace at the end and he got third. Next up is the 200-yard free relay, and in this there are 8 laps. 4 swimmers are going to swim 2 laps. And Jesse, why don't you tell us the keys for this 200 free relay?
Well, as you said, there are 8 laps, 4 swimmers to go on 2 laps. The keys: fast start off on the blocks and speed. Let's go into the lineup for Bensalem. And there will be no swimmers in lane 1. In lane 3, Bensalem will have Mike Gebirth, George Johnson, Steve Ciatti, and Brian Euclid. In lane 5 will be Mark Kellerman, Kevin Smith, Mike Little, and Kevin Euclid. For North Penn, in lane 2 will be Chris Craig, Justin Fanslaw, Matt Gibson, and Ian Detweiler. In lane 4 is John Fakish, Steve Miller, Tim Kronstan, Joel Cairns. In lane 6 is Dominic Zabo, Devin Philibom, Chris Hutchins, and Mike Farrell.
And they're about to get started for their relay here. And they start.
And there was a false start. There's a yellow rope in the middle of the pool. When they drop that, that indicates that there was a false start, and that also helps the racers know that there was a false start. There's also a second tone in the beginning of the race.
Right, that also tells the referees that there was a false start, and they stopped the race, or they dropped the yellow rope there.
So let's see if second time's the charm.
And they're about to get ready for their 200-yard free relay, and just hope that nobody false starts again.
Oh, well, there is, for Bensalem, lane 3 will not be racing, leaving lane 5 with all the pressure.
And I guess that lane 3 must have been the false start.
Disqualifying the
And that
entire
disqualifies them from the event. And it looks like lane 2 has had the early lead here and has placed first with a time of 23 seconds. And lane 6 has placed second with a time of 23 seconds and 53 milliseconds. And lane 3 for North Penn has placed third with a time of 23 seconds and 70 milliseconds.
And lane 4 placed fourth with 29 seconds. Lane 6 pulls off in the lead with a time of 48 seconds. Lane 2 also with 48 seconds. They place second. Lane 3, in lane 4, they're in third place with 49 seconds. Lane 5 and 4th with 57 seconds.
It has been a close meet here between all the North Penn players. I mean, they're looking for the victory here.
Yes. Lane 6 still in that lead. Lane 4 pulled out in front of lane 2. And lane 5 pulling up the back end. Lane 2 pulls out in front with a time of 1:39. Lane 4 coming in second with 1:39. Lane 6 in third with 1:41. And lane 5 is coming in
for the touch-up, and will be placed fourth with a time of 1 minute and 56 seconds. Next up is the 100-yard backstroke, and there are 4 laps by 1 swimmer. And there are 2 kinds of starts. You can start as a traditional start, in which you can have you can have your feet in the water or on the gutter and the hands on the handles, or you can just stand up and start from standing right in the water. Jesse, why don't you tell us the keys for the backstroke here?
Well, the keys are good shoulder and arm rotation. You need to have that. You want to slice the water like a knife with your hand, not slapping your hand down and scooping the water. Want to look for a nice streamlined kick underwater. Good start off would be good. And a dolphin kick or a butterfly kick on your back for the wall turns. They're the keys. Moving on into the lineup. In lane 1, we have Steve Blank for Bensalem. In lane 3, Steve Ciotti, also for Bensalem. And for another Bensalem swimmer is Mark Killian in lane 5. For North Penn, Chuck McGee in lane 2. In lane 4, Ricky Shillo. And in lane 6, Andy Gavaselis.
It looks like lane 4 has had the lead right now.
And Ford definitely coming out with the lead. Followed up by lane 2, then lane 3. Lane 4 will be clocked in first with a time of 28 seconds. Lane 2 in second with 31 seconds. Lane 3, placing third with a time of 33 seconds. Lane 6, fourth with 33 seconds. Lane 5, fifth with 37 seconds. And lane 1, sixth with a time of 38 seconds. Lane 4 is definitely showing excellent speed and a great time of 58 seconds, placing first. Lane 2 is second with 1 minute and 4 seconds. Lane 3, 1 minute and 8 seconds, placing third. Lane 6 placing fourth with a time of 1:08. Lane 5 placing fifth with a time of 1:18. And lane 1 placing sixth with a time of 1:28.
And the next event we have up is the 100-yard breaststroke. And this is where there are 4 laps by 1 swimmers, and the keys are starts and turns. And there's one stroke where there's a lot of technique involved.
A lot of technique and a lot of energy needed for this.
And a lot of concentration. And why don't you tell us the lineups for the backstroke?
Okay, for Bensalem in lane 1 will be Mike Weismer. There will be no... I'm sorry. In lane 3 will be Mike Weismer. There will be no swimmer for Bensalem in lane 1. In lane 5 is Vince Zarko. For North Penn is Justin Kratz in lane 2. In lane 4, Steve Philibom. And in lane 6, John Gallagher. So let's see how the swimmers do.
And they're almost ready for their start of the event.
Officials checking something. Once again, this is the 100-yard breaststroke, an event that takes a lot of concentration and a lot of energy.
And they're about to start.
And they're off. Lane 4 definitely showing an early lead here, followed up by appears to be lanes 2 and 6. And then lane 3 and lane 5 pulling up the back end. Lane 4 in first, clocking in at 32 seconds. Lane 2, second, clocking in at 33 seconds. Lane 6 clocking in third place, time of 36 seconds. Lane 3 clocking in fourth place with a time of 42 seconds. And lane 5 placing fifth, time of 48 seconds. Still underway in the event. Lane 4 still showing a pretty good lead. Lane 2 and lane 3 followed right behind. And lane 4 clocking in first place with a time of 1:08. Lane 2 in second with 1:03. Lane 6 in third with 1:16. Lane 3 and lane 5 still coming up. Lane 3 will be placing fourth. And that time will be 1 minute and 32 seconds. And lane 5 will be placing fifth. And that time will be 1 minute and 43 seconds. So moving on to the next event.
Next event is the 400-yard free relay. And this is the event where there are 4 swimmers swimming 4 laps freestyle. And the keys for this event is the quick starts and good exchanges. Jesse, why don't you tell us the lineups for this 400-yard free relay?
Well, for the 400 freestyle relay, in lane 3 for Bensalem would be DJ Mert Megard, Kevin Ugloss, Steve Ciotti, and Brian Ugloss. For North Penn, in fact, that is the only lane. That's the only lane that will be open for Bensalem. For North Penn, in lane 2, we have Dominic Zabro, Ricky Shillo, John Fakish, and Andy Gabaselis. In lane 4, we have Jeremy Burgum, Steve Pasquale, Justin Fanslow, and Steve Miller. In lane 6, we have Steve Fleming, Matt Gibson, Eric Bikosh, and Devin Philibon.
And the swimmers are ready to take their mark.
And they're underway.
Looks like lane 2 and 4 are tied for first right now. And lane 2 just took the lead.
Lane 2 clocking in first place, time of 23 seconds. Lane 6 in second with a time of 24. Lane 4 in third with a time of 25 seconds and 45 milliseconds. Lane 3 in fourth with a time of 25.91 seconds.
And lane 2 is taking a big lead right now. And there's the exchange. Lane 2 placed first at 49 seconds. Lane 6 placed second with 51 seconds. Lane 4 placed third with 54 seconds. Lane 3 placed fourth with 54 seconds.
Lane 2 still holding on to that first position, followed up by lane 6 and then lane 4. Coming behind in last, in fourth place, I should say, is lane 3. Bensalem's definitely making an effort here in this last event.
There was the exchange, and in lane 1 we had 1 minute and 41 seconds. Lane 4 we had 1 minute and 44 seconds. Lane 6 we had 1 minute and 46 seconds. And lane 3 we had 1 minute and 54 seconds.
And the exchange will take place in lane 2. Again, still holding on to a first
And
position.
there goes the exchange. And it comes in for a time of 2 minutes and 36 seconds with 38 milliseconds. Lane 4 comes in second with a time of 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Lane 6 comes in third with a time of 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
And lane 3 is still in fourth place.
And it comes in with a time of 3 minutes and 1 second.
And lane 2 will come in first, with a time of 3:31. Lane 4 coming in second with a time of 3:35. Lane 6 coming in third with a time of 3:43. And lane 3 is just finishing up. They will come in fourth place. And they will have the time of 4 minutes.
And Bensalem did show a lot of effort in the last just 400 free relay. Jesse, what were your thoughts about this game?
My thoughts about the entire meet, Bensalem did the best they could. They put in a lot of effort, in fact, a great deal of effort. But, somebody has to walk away victorious from these things.
And there you have it. The North Penn Knights have been victorious, and they have defeated the Bensalem Owls in this Suburban 1 matchup. The directors of North Penn Television are Mary Fakish and Bob Gilmer, and I'd like to wish a special thanks to Mr. Brian Clements. For Jesse Alexander and the rest of the North Penn Television crew, I'm Mithalich Mehra. Stay tuned to North Penn programming after this.